On Saturday morning, as soon as I could, between 7 and 8 a.m. Eastern, I posted the following. What if $10 billion of the $38.5 billion actually is from the prior two continuing resolutions? And what if another $12 billion of the remaining $28.5 billion actually comes from a change in the budget baseline that would have occurred anyway? I cannot personally vouch for this, but this is what I'm being told from certain Capitol Hill sources. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out that this was correct. That they agreed to basically $10 to $15 billion, still unclear despite all the articles, but $10 to $15 billion in actual cuts. $10 to $15 billion. And 99% of the conservative media was snookered because they wanted to be snookered. They wanted to believe. And they got very vicious. The long tooths came out. They started to attack people who would dare to question the leadership. And I'm sorry to tell you that the Republican leadership in the House and their cheerleaders, who are all over the place, they were even inflating the numbers beyond that, telling us this was a $78 billion cut based on what Obama had wanted to spend. If he had had his way, which he had not had his way. Boehner himself, yesterday morning, was on Fox talking about $78, $80 billion in cuts. This is a problem. Because we were deceived, specifically and intentionally deceived. You can't do that and expect people to back you. And then they had this whole propaganda campaign going on. I mean, this is outrageous, honestly. So this $38.5 billion, $39.9, whatever it was, $10 billion had already been cut. $2 more billion had already been cut in the third CR they passed last week. 10 to 12 billion of it, well, was money that was never going to be spent. Census money that was left over, highway money that wasn't going to be spent this year, and I can go on and on. The Associated Press has the stories. Bloomberg has the stories. Other news agencies have the stories because once they put out the numbers, we could all look at them. And yet all the pots and pans were being banged. How wonderful this is. What a great negotiator Boehner is. It shows us he's an awful negotiator. And as I've said day in and day out to the point where I'm boring myself, the man takes his biggest weapon off the table, the government shutdown, which, as I've said 100 times, isn't even a government shutdown. He takes it off the table, so he has nothing left to deal with. So they lied about, Republicans lied to us about this $38.5 billion figure. Flat out lied. We were lied to about the $61 billion, which they passed when Boehner was Speaker and the Democrats still controlled the Senate and Obama was still president. And their pledge they violated when they talked about $100 billion. So this all stinks. It just does. Particularly when we're eyeball to eyeball with the most radical, irresponsible deficit spender in world history. Is it too much to ask for some conservatives to take the lead, to be the leaders, to have some guts, some courage? I mean, really, ladies and gentlemen, what is our choice here? We keep this up. Everybody knows who is rational. Forget about the left-wing drones. They're not rational. They don't matter. They'll march right off the cliff and they'll bump their heads at the bottom and they won't even know. But those of us who are rational, what is our alternative here? This society is facing collapse. Look around the world. Look at what's happening in California. The left-wingers are nuts. They've taken the most successful, vibrant, productive state that we had and have all but destroyed it. And they've gone through one state after another. Michigan, the heart of capitalism. Detroit, the heart of capitalism. Look at it. Look what they've done to it. And they're going to do it to the whole damn nation if they get their way. Is it too damn much to ask that when we give the majority to the Republicans in the House, that they pick some competent leaders and do the right thing? Because doing the right thing and standing on principle in this case actually is good politics. There is no alternative except lying to us, deceiving us, playing with the numbers, and coming back with what? Crap. 8 to 15 billion, 10 to 15 billion in a $3.6 trillion budget? Are they kidding us? You Republicans in the House of Representatives who claim to be conservatives, you Republicans in the House of Representatives who claim to be Tea Party members, you Republicans in the House of Representatives who claim to be Reaganites, you vote for this. You're none of that. And we're not suckers. You're the sucker. We're not going to be lied to about this. This isn't some little program, some game. Our nation's at stake. Our families are at stake. This is our damn country. This is our damn government. Don't deceive us. If you're too scared to do your job, then get out of the way. Why did you ask us for your votes? Or our votes, rather. Well, Boehner did the best he could. Well, guess what? It's not good enough. And lying to us is not the best you can do. We're not going to put up with that. This was a bald-faced lie. And all the Washington media, well, the vast majority of it was in on it. And I love the people who've now been caught being stupid. Look at the liberals. They hate this. They hate this. The liberals love it. I don't mean the drones. They don't know what to do. They're bouncing off walls all the time. Obama loves this. Reid loves it. Reid could barely contain himself. That doddering old fool on the Senate floor could barely contain himself. Obama, as soon as the deal was cut, runs to the camera, the Capitol in the background, taking credit for it, because they know. You know what was accomplished? Not a damn thing. Nothing. Oh, well, they changed the debate. I heard some guys say this today. Who changed the debate? They lied to us. We changed the debate because we changed the House of Representatives. We almost changed the Senate. Oh, wait till 2012, they say. No, we're not waiting till 2012. Let the other side wait till 2012. We'll be right back.